Welcome back to Charlie Survival. Today I'm going to show you how I made this 20-piece survival kit from Poundland. I'm going to go through how much each individual item costs, how I put it all together into one pack, and I'll also show you how I would use these specific items in the pack to survive in the wild. I was aiming for around £20, but we went a little bit over and we spent around £24. So let's start off with fire and light. So for light itself, we actually picked up this amazing little head torch. So this head torch has 3 settings on it. It has a bright setting, a medium setting, and then a strobe setting. I believe this is water repellent, and I've actually put it in a real life survival challenge where I survived on Poundland items for 24 hours. And we also picked up these glowing sticks. Now these were 80p, and I think these are incredible for pitting around camp, pitting in your tent, so you don't have to have a candle in your tent all the time or use up the battery from the head torch. They're also great for navigating back to camp, so if you go for a long walk and you don't know where you are, you can place these in the ground and find your way back to camp. There is 15 in this bag and they last for 6 hours each. Now this isn't the lighter that was in Poundland, but there was lighters in there, but I already have some, so I decided just to use this one for an example of the lighter that would be in the pack. Now there was an array of different lighters in there, to multi-packs, to cook lighters, and they were averaging around £1. Next up we have a pack of candles. Now these, I just realized, are actually scented candles. They do actually smell really sweet, so you'll have a nice smell around camp. They might even keep the mosquitoes away, I'm not sure, but it's just great to have candles in the pack just for light, for even starting fires, or if you're in a really bad situation where it is a bit wet, you could cook some stuff with just the candles. Now let's move on to tools and utility. So first off, of course, we have some duct tape. Now this is great. You can actually start fires with this. You can fix any item that gets broke. You can use it as cordage. In an emergency, you could also use it for wounds and cuts. You could waterproof things. You could make something out of it. It's just very versatile and an amazing piece of kit to have in the pack. Next up, we have a set of 4 carabiners. Now there are so many uses for just having this mechanism. You could use these to clip anything to your belt. You could use it for the ground sheet to tie it down. You could create a pulley system. You could use them to hang up your clothes. There is so many uses for just these carabiners, and also they're very light, so you won't feel them in your pack. And this is a great find. This is a travel sewing kit. There's scissors, tweezers. I didn't even notice there's tweezers in here. That is incredible. There's some thread, a safety pin, needles, buttons, pins. I'm not too sure what the 2 silver things at the top are, but it comes in a little case, and that is just incredible to have. The only thing is, I really do wish that there was more safety pins in there. Not only are they great for clothing, but you can also make a fishing hook out of that. There's even some thread there that you could use as a fishing line, and the case will also keep everything inside nice and dry. Next up, some jute string. This string is actually one of the strongest I've came across in Poundland. Now of course there is so many uses for string, but just to go over a couple, we could use it for tying down the ground sheet, and we can also use them with the carabiner clips to create like the pulley that I was talking about, or a quick release clothesline, or you could pull little pieces off of the jute string and use it for fishing line, and of course tinder for starting a fire. And I came across this little tobacco tin. It also comes with a pack of papers that can also be used as fire lighters. But what's great about these little tins, not only can you store stuff in them of course to keep it dry, but you could also use this to put on the fire to create some charcoal with pieces of wood or King Alfred's cakes. That way you've always got quick access to a tin of tinder. I actually do really like that design on it. It looks pretty cool. And then of course we have the knife. Now this is just a precision blade knife, and this was actually on offer for £2, and this actually looked the strongest out of all of them. It has a retractable blade that we can use. We could use this to make feather sticks, to cut the cord. You know, knives are just very versatile, and you could also get really creative and make a sheath with the duct tape, the string, and the carabiners, and just always have it on your belt. Now let's move on to shelter and comfort. So starting off, we got this poncho. Of course, if it starts raining, then you need something to go over you to keep you dry. There's actually 2 in here. I thought it was only 1, so that is even better. And not only could you use this to keep yourself dry, you could also use it as a ground sheet or a shelter. You could cut one open and double the size of it. So let's just see what this one is like. The material is actually relatively strong. It does cover most of your body as well. It also has some drawstrings on the hood, so if you really wanted to keep yourself dry and just keep the wind and cold out, then you can do that. You could almost use it as like a sleeping bag, but I'm gonna have fun getting it back down to that size. Now in Poundland, because it is the summer range, they've got a lot of camping gear. So I picked up this ground sheet that was in there, and this is actually a very strong material. It's stronger than the tarpaulins in there. Now it's currently June here in the UK, so the summer range is now out in Poundland, and this ground sheet I think is part of the camping kind of range. Moving on to hygiene and first aid. First of all, of course, we have some plasters. Now, because this is a survival pack, we went for the waterproof plasters. Because if we're outside, of course, it's probably going to rain, so it's better to have waterproof ones. And in here, there's 100 assorted plasters. So I'm pretty sure that that should serve us pretty well. Next up, we have some bandage. There's 2 bandages in here. They're both 3 meters. One is 8 centimeters and the other is 10 centimeters wide. And of course, you could use these with the duct tape or the safety pin that is in the sewing kit. It's a shame that this also doesn't come with safety pins, but that is just an essential to have in the pack. And then we have these pure cotton wool balls. Now these are great for starting fire, but you can also use them as a makeshift plaster with the duct tape again. You could put the cotton wool over the wound and then the duct tape around it, and they're just great for first aid and hygiene. Next up, we have the amazing Vaseline. People probably just use this for their lips, but there are so many uses for this great stuff. Of course, you can use it for dry lips and dry skin, but you can also use it to maintain your blade on your knife, as a lubricant for the carabiners and just maintaining your gear. You can also use it as a physical barrier on your skin to stop any ants or insects. This isn't a repellent, just kind of a barrier. And you can also pair it with the cotton balls. You can cover the cotton ball in Vaseline and use it as a fire starter, and it actually works well even in rainy conditions. Now you can use it on chafing, blisters, and of course put it on wounds to put another barrier there so no bacteria gets in there. Now I would also have a toothbrush in this pack, but I already have a toothbrush at home, so I don't need an extra one, but that would have been in here as well. Now let's move on to my favorite, food and water. So for water, we picked up this 600ml bottle of water. Then we have this amazing Tiffin camping cooking set. Now this was also on offer for £3. I believe this was reduced from £5 or £6 as well. So in here you have a plate, another plate, wow, and a massive, that pot is actually massive. And what I was thinking is we could actually put all of this in this pan and use the pan itself as a box to store everything in. I believe that these plates go on the top like that, and then that folds down like that. Now this doesn't clip shut, so we would use the string to tie it up. I'm not sure. Oh wow, it's stainless steel. What an amazing find, especially for that bargain price of £3. I do feel like we could fit all of this into this one pan and kind of just tie it down. I'm actually going to be putting this whole survival kit to the test in the next video, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you get notified when I release it. But there's a high likelihood that if you're watching this, that it's already on the channel. Next up, we have this cutlery set. So in here, there is a fork, a knife and a spoon. Now the blade on that knife, I don't think you're going to cut any wood with it, but a spoon, a fork and a knife, they're just incredible tools to have in your kit. And these do feel very durable. These are going to last a very long time. Next up, microfiber towels. There's 5 in here. I thought these were all the same towel, but there's actually ones for glass, dust, all-purpose, polish and floor. Now these are great for drying things, using as a bandage. You could also use them to filter water and also as a flannel to clean yourself. And I've kept the best till last, the food. I picked up a pasta and sauce mac and cheese. Now this is basically like a freeze-dried meal. It says ready in 5 minutes, and you can just put this in the pot over the fire and just cook up in some water. I honestly can't wait to show you all of this kit in action, and like I said, I'm going to be making that video next, so keep your eye out for it. Comment down below if you would take away or add anything to this pack or change it in any way. As always, stay wild, and I'll catch you in the video where I test this all out. See you then.